Good morning. Class of 22, transfer students, and Eli Whitney students, welcome to Yale. Joining me on this stage to greet you are President Peter Salovey, Provost Ben Polak, Secretary Kim Goff-Cruz, Faculty of Arts and Sciences Dean Tamar Gendler, Graduate School Dean Lynn Cooley, Athletic Director Vicki Chun, Association of Yale Alumni Executive Director Wei Li Chang, officers of the university, the heads and deans of the residential colleges, and the deans and members of the Yale College Dean's Office. We extend our warm welcome to the family members and friends who are here today. It is thanks to your support and guidance that Yale has the privilege of hosting these impressive young adults. I am Marvin Chun, Dean of Yale College, and I'm extremely pleased to be here today. In my role as Dean, one of my jobs is to support President Salovey's mission to maintain Yale as the research institution most dedicated to teaching and learning. And what that means for your students is that I am here to make sure that you get the best out of this place, in the classroom or out of it. Before I address you as Dean, though, let me first step out of that role and into another role that I play here as a professor of psychology and neuroscience. I taught here for 18 years, and in fact, this spring, I will be teaching Introduction to Psychology. I hope you may take it, but I have to confess that according to course evaluations, which I encourage you to consider when you shop for the many courses you'll be taking here, my class is apparently overrated. But being the resilient optimist that I am, I actually consider that as a compliment. But as a professor then, let me get down to business and give you your first quiz. A friendly one with no grading. I heard the groan. So no grading. To get started, please pull out the insert in your program. Looks like this. Okay, we're going to focus on the top row, the top of the program. You see 4 cards depicted on the top row. And imagine that each card has a letter or digit. Each card has a letter or a digit on each side, and you're only seeing one side on the top row. And I want you to look at these cards and consider the following rule. If the card has a vowel on one side, then it has an even number on the other. Okay, so if the card has a vowel on one side, then it has an even number on the other, and we wrote down the rule on the bottom of the cards. So here's the quiz. Which card or which cards do you need to flip over in order to determine if the rule is true or false? And again, the rule is if the card has a vowel on one side, then it has an even number on the other side. Okay, so give that some thought. All right. Yale is a very collaborative place, but on most quizzes, you're not allowed to talk to your neighbor. But it's fine for this morning, obviously. So here's the correct answer, and I thank you for engaging in the exercise. So here's the correct answer. The correct answer is to pick the A card and the 7 card. Okay. In the original study, only about 1 out of 25 people got this correct. Now, while I expect that many more of you got the right answer, I will not ask you to raise your hand because I don't want you to be bragging on your first day of school. It's not very cool. But please do not feel bad if you didn't get it right, because if this demo were easy or intuitive or obvious, it would not be instructive. So let's go through it together. When people take this quiz, most people correctly pick the A card because if you turn it over and see an odd number, you've disproven the rule. Most people get the A card. The D card, the second card, is irrelevant, and almost no one picks that one. What makes the quiz interesting is that a lot of people do pick the 4 card, even though they don't need to, because that card is irrelevant to the rule. People pick it because it lets them confirm the rule. If they find a vowel on the other side, then they're like, oh yeah, the rule is confirmed. But this card, the 4 card, does not allow you to prove the rule false. The 4 card can be flipped over and show a consonant, and the rule would still hold because we said nothing about consonants. The only card that lets you test if the rule is false is the 7 card, because if you flip that one over and see a vowel, then that would contradict the rule. Thank you. It's good. So the finding that people choose the 4 card and not the 7 card has a technical term, and it is known as confirmation bias. And what it means is that people lean towards validating their hypotheses rather than testing if they're wrong. Put another way, people are drawn to evidence that confirms their pre-existing beliefs. And so this is something we want to counter, and you would think that, in order to counter confirmation bias, that you would all you need to do is look for information that goes against your pre-existing views. Unfortunately, it's not that easy, because people don't like to do that. In another study, students were surveyed and divided into 2 different groups, one that favored capital punishment, another group that was surveyed to disfavor. They were against capital punishment. And so you got these 2 groups, identified them according to their views, and then you presented both groups with 2 types of evidence. One type of evidence that favors capital punishment as a deterrent to crime, and another set of evidence that shows that capital punishment is not effective at deterring crime. And you show both types of evidence to both groups. And you think, okay, that's how education's easy, that's how it works. And you would think that seeing both sides would moderate each subject's view. But what the researchers found was disheartening. It was actually the opposite, that instead the students in each group, they started to dig in. They favored the evidence that supported their view. They started to devalue and discount the evidence that didn't. And it left both sides even more polarized than when they had started. That is, being exposed to multiple views is not sufficient. Instead, one needs to see how opposing views are also valid. So let me try to demonstrate this point again using the insert in your program. Here's your second exercise of the morning. You're going to look at the image in the middle of the insert now. Okay, take a look at the image in the middle, and when I say go, name out loud what you see. And actually, you can feel free to use whatever language you want if English is not your first language. There. Here we go. So what do you see? Go. Okay, so if you first saw a duck, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you saw a duck, okay, and look around. And now raise your hand if you saw a rabbit. Okay, right. Almost half of you have different answers to this demonstration. And you can feel free to see if you can see it both ways. Help your partner see it the other way. Okay, thank you. So everyone sees it both ways now? Okay, good. This simple demonstration shows a fundamental principle of psychology, which is that we all experience the world differently. Our perceptual interpretations, our memories, our thoughts are all constructs of the mind, and they differ across people, even when you're viewing the same object, the same event, or the same evidence. So when exposed to views different from your own, it helps if you can find common ground with those with whom you disagree. So before you put away your insert, let's take one last look at it, this time at the cartoon on the bottom. You see two armies facing each other. And now look at the army on the bottom, and at the front of it, there's a general sitting on a horse, urging his troops, and this is the cartoon caption, "There can be no peace until they renounce their rabbit god and accept our duck god." Okay? You can see the flags and everything, okay? So, of course, imagine what happens when the opposing troops realize that they are serving the same flag. And so I would like to ask you, what is your flag? What is the flag that you serve? And so please shout out the answer to the following. What's the best university in the world? Okay, let me try that again. What's the best university in the world? Thank you. All right, great. You are all now members of Bulldog Nation. With the sophomores and juniors and seniors, the alumni, faculty, and staff, and with each other here, you have common ground, an immediate shared bond that is more than tribal. It goes deeper to the intellectual curiosity and the commitment to community that have brought you all here. You have just arrived at a place that values difference and actively seeks it out. It is how professors and students find and test knowledge, and it is how the university equips its students, that's you, to become leaders and citizens of the world. But here, the value of seeking difference is even more than that. Here, it is taken as an article of faith. It is the coin of the realm. It is one of the bedrock principles that governs us in and outside of the classroom. And let me assume that you came here not just to discover whole realms of knowledge, but also to learn how to live lives of consequence. If that is true, then you have really come to the right place. As you take your first steps, then, you will need to become comfortable with difference, not just to accept it or tolerate it, but to insist on it. And you'll find guides everywhere in the classes you will take, the activities you will join, and most of all from the people sitting around you right now, your peers and classmates. All of them are part of the liberal arts education that awaits you. And what you will find is that you come from every possible walk of life, bringing with you every imaginable talent, every experience, every worldview. Almost half of you identify as a student of color. 12% African American, 22% Asian American, 15% Hispanic Latinx, 2% Native American. About 1 out of 9 of you are international students from 57 different countries in this class. You are of all genders and sexualities. About 2 out of 3 of you attended public high schools. To get here, you have overcome challenges and also disabilities. You observe different religions or none. You are politically liberal, conservative, moderate. Over 1 out of 6 of you are first-generation college students. Nearly 1 out of 5 of you qualify for Pell Grants for low-income families. Yale is really a great place, so thank you. Speaking of different experiences, have any of you seen the movie Crazy Rich Asians? Not me, of course, but I wanted to mention that if you want a different kind of experience, kind of see the lifestyle that's portrayed in the movie, consider a semester abroad at Yale NUS College. Our sister in Singapore, which is just a really fabulous, fun city, and you can get really terrific chili crab there. But also just an ad to consider spending time abroad at any one of our hundreds of partners around the world, maybe in a spring semester of your sophomore year when you should not feel any fear of missing out for the winter temperatures and 2 feet of snow on the ground here. So your life at Yale has just started, and in just a few days you will be enrolling in classes, joining organizations, and training with your teams. And as you do that, here's what I hope you will do. Beware of confirmation bias when you find yourself simply validating what you already know. If you are a duck person, go find those rabbit people and find common ground with them. If you are studying alt duck courses, go find the rabbit courses and see what they can teach you. And when you find yourself rallying around a duck flag, take a good hard look at the rabbit flag across the field and the people rallying around it. And remember that you are all Yaleys. So Eli Whitney students, transfer students, members of the class of 2022, you all belong to Yale. Yale belongs to you. Welcome.
So good morning, everyone. On behalf of my colleagues here on stage, I extend a warm welcome to all the family members who are with us today. And to the first years, transfer students, and Eli Whitney students, welcome to Yale. Today is a day of pageantry and excitement. Many of you bring members of your extended families to cheer you on, celebrating this milestone with justifiable pride and just a little anxiety. Today is also a day of Yale Traditions. You will encounter countless wonderful rituals here, some recent and some quite old. Many are steeped in history, yet remain popular, even beloved among Yaleys. And remember, you are now a Yalie. One of our Yale traditions is singing an old song, Bright College Years. Written in the late 19th century, it is our unofficial but widely acknowledged alma mater. You will hear it at many campus events, often sung by the Yale Glee Club and other Yale groups, and played by the Yale Precision Marching Band after football games. Now, I am not a singer. Actually, I'm a bluegrass bass player. But I hope you'll indulge me for just a moment. The seasons come, the seasons go. The earth is green or white with snow. But time and change shall not avail to break the friendships formed at Yale. So thank you for that. Those couplets are some of my favorites from Bright College Years, about lifelong friendship, and in my experience, they are truthful. I suspect they will prove accurate for you as well. But it's the song's final lines, popular at alumni gatherings and always sung with gusto, complete with the waving of handkerchiefs, that I want to use to launch my topic today. Oh, let us strive that ever we may let these words our watch cry be, where upon life's sea we sail, for God, for country, and for Yale. For God, for country, and for Yale. A member of the Yale College class of 1881, named Henry Durand, wrote this ballad, and the final lines were meant to be a rallying cry. It made sense in those days to presume, as Durand did, that most Yale students shared, or at least professed to share, the same God and the same country. Most Yaleys until recent decades were white, Protestant, and American. And of course, until 50 years ago in Yale College, they were all men. Today, Yale is a different place from the college Durand knew. We welcome people from around the world, from every background, and from every walk of life. I am proud to be a Yale graduate. I received my PhD in psychology from Yale in 1986. 100 years earlier, I may have been less likely to have been admitted to Yale on account of my background. I am Jewish with roots in Eastern Europe. My wife, Marta, is another proud Yale graduate, and she received her master's degree in public health in 1984. Marta, why don't you give a wave here so people can see who you are? So Marta received her master's in public health in 1984. Her family is from Puerto Rico. Now, our stories are not unique. Over the past decades, Yale has opened its doors wider and wider. We have expanded the circle of belonging. Yet despite our differences and diversity, we have at least one very important thing in common. We all share Yale. No matter where you are from, or who you are, or your path to arriving here, now you are, among other things, a member of this community. You belong here. You are a citizen of Yale. In our country and in our world today, questions about citizenship and immigration are hotly contested. But at Yale, we share none of this uncertainty about the critical importance of immigrant and international students and scholars. The work of the university, education and research, requires the free movement of people and ideas across national boundaries. So on behalf of this university, I advocate for policies that will allow us to welcome students and scholars from around the world to our campus. Our Yale citizenship, however, is not based on national origin. Our students across the university hail from 121 countries. Nor is it based on our adherence to a certain set of beliefs or dogma, as we bring an enormous range of viewpoints and perspectives to this campus. Instead, we are citizens of Yale because we share a desire to know, to understand, and to create. We are members of an academic community dedicated to Urim Vitumim, Lux et Veritas, light and truth. We are poets and psychologists, historians and scientists, physicians and deans, and yet we all share the same fundamental goal: to expand the horizons of the known world, to ask questions that shake the foundations of knowledge, and to rebuild them again with new answers. Our world is desperate for new ideas and solutions. We need to understand the human condition and our planet. We need insights into the genome. We need breakthroughs in our ability to fight disease, alleviate suffering, and find justice. We need answers to urgent and long-standing questions. You will tackle this important work at Yale. The experiences you have here will shape the rest of your lives, and you will have opportunities that most people only dream of. And because a Yale education is a great privilege, it comes with certain obligations. I want to speak today about some of the most important obligations of Yale citizenship. I will delineate 4 of them. The responsibility to be curious constantly. The duty to listen to others, even those whose thoughts you despise, and to exchange ideas freely. The obligation to create a culture of respect here, and the requirement to use the gifts you have been provided to serve others and the world. So the first obligation concerns our intellectual and scholarly work. Our campus must be a place conducive to deep study that will motivate both a lifetime of learning and the development of character that will serve you well as future leaders. Yale will demand much of you. There will be times when you don't understand an assignment or struggle with a problem set. You may do poorly on a midterm. At least I hope so. Those failures, as much as your successes, mean you are doing something right. Be kind to yourself and remember that you have come to Yale because you don't know everything. Not yet. The faculty will be alongside you as teachers, as mentors. You know, this is my 33rd year on the Yale faculty, and I know that working with students is one of the great joys of this profession. So go to office hours. Get to know your professors. They will help you deepen and expand your expertise. But most of all, allow your curiosity to take wing. Take you in unexpected directions, lead you to new areas of study, practice, and discovery. I enrolled in courses in college that I hadn't planned to take, and they changed the way I see the world now, 40 years later. A course in the history of theater styles, a course in writing poetry, a course in real-world applied sociology, a course in geology and earth sciences that involved fascinating fieldwork. Make sure you explore the great range and diversity of academic experiences available to you here. Second, as citizens of Yale, we are obligated to listen carefully to others. Sometimes this means we must listen to ideas we find objectionable. You don't have to agree, but each of us must enjoy the opportunity to express thoughts and opinions. We work hard to safeguard this right on campus. I hope you'll have many opportunities to think deeply and speak honestly and courageously about difficult issues during your time here. Discourse is the heart of the academic enterprise. So find time, find places for conversation, whether in a classroom, a dining hall, or on the athletic field. There are many impediments to meaningful conversation, including technology. Now, I'm not going to persuade you to stop texting or tweeting altogether, but I urge you to put down your phones whenever possible. Seek out face-to-face interactions. We're happier and our relationships are stronger when we do. Just ask anyone who took Psychology and the Good Life with Professor Laurie Santos last year. They can tell you the data that support that observation. You will meet people of remarkable talent, remarkable promise, and remarkable integrity here at Yale. In the days and weeks ahead, I would urge you to seek out a wide variety of friends and associates. As I said to last year's graduating class, draw a larger circle to include people who might look, talk, act, or think differently from you. Introduce yourself to staff members. Get to know your neighbors in the city of New Haven. Your ability to speak, but also to listen, to reach beyond what is familiar and easy, will be one of the great measures of your time here at Yale. Third, as citizens of Yale, we strive to support a culture of mutual respect on our campus. To do this, we must accord each person the dignity and recognition they deserve. Claudia Rankine is the Frederick Eisman Professor of Poetry at Yale. In her powerful work, Citizen, an American Lyric, she explores what citizenship and belonging mean in contemporary America. Often she does this by describing mundane situations. I'd like to read you a passage. In line at the drugstore, it's finally your turn. And then it's not, as he walks in front of you and puts his things on the counter. The cashier says, "Sir, she was next." When he turns to you, he is truly surprised. "Oh my God, I didn't see you." "You must be in a hurry," you offer. No, I really didn't see you." So who do we see or not see in our residential colleges and classrooms, in restaurants, on vacation, and at work, in our country, and in our world? Who do we see, and who do we look past? Your lives at Yale will be busy and full. You will study, work, volunteer, socialize, and I dearly hope sometimes sleep. But make sure you take the time to see the people around you. Try to imagine the world through their eyes. Bring empathy and imagination to all that you do. I am counting on each of you. Together, we can ensure that Yale is a community where each person feels valued and welcome. Finally, your obligations as citizens of Yale extend beyond the campus. Our alumni are perhaps the greatest illustration of Yale's tradition of service. 5 Yale graduates have served as U.S. presidents, 4 as secretaries of state, and 18 as justices on the U.S. Supreme Court, representing viewpoints across the political spectrum. Yale alumni have served as heads of state of several other countries, including Italy, Mexico, Malawi, and South Korea. Many others have improved their neighborhoods and cities as teachers, philanthropists, and mentors. Still others have built businesses and created jobs. For generations, our students and alumni have contributed to the common good. I urge you to carry on this vital Yale tradition. For God, for country, and for Yale. This is still the promise of bright college years, and I enjoy singing those words as much as anyone, that even if we worship differently or not at all, even if we are citizens of different nations or people without a country, we all share Yale. We take pride in our rights and responsibilities as members of this community. In return for the great privilege of a Yale education, we look beyond this campus to pursue a larger purpose, to improve the world today and for future generations. This is what we share in common. I'm convinced that our Yale citizenship is just as vital today as it was 317 years ago when this college was founded. The world needs light and truth as much as ever. It needs your leadership and your service. It needs the meaning you bring to the world and the questions you ask. Most of all, it needs your best efforts, your successes and your failures. As citizens of Yale sharing a common purpose, the pursuit of knowledge and understanding, let us start today to begin the work we have come here to do, to ask new questions, to listen carefully and speak honestly, to see with new eyes, and to contribute to our communities and our world. Most of all, leave this hall today with a commitment in your hearts to be exemplary citizens of Yale, building the future we all hope to see. Today, as I look out onto this room, I am optimistic about the future of Yale and the future of our world. Good luck, class of 2022.
My beloved Yale family, as we ready ourselves to step out onto new ground in this daunting yet inspiring liminal space of the unknown next, we begin a poignant turn of goodbyes and hellos that invite laughter, tears, challenge, choice, discovery, and pride. Let us go forth with deep trust in certain knowledge that in this place, every one of us is welcome. That in this place, we will both stumble and soar. That in this place, love surrounds us. Beauty can surprise us. In this place, light and truth awaits us. On this day and every day forward, may all that is holy shine upon us and tenderly bless our every breath. May we go in shalom, in salam, in shanti. May we go in peace. Let us begin.